Hey, what's up, everyone? I wanted to just get on and talk about the Showtime card we had yesterday. I'm not going to talk about the first fight. I'll just stick with the Gamboa Martinez fight. I said in my prediction I thought Gamboa would win. I did say I thought it would maybe be by decision or maybe mid to late round TKO, but Martinez was more shocked than I thought. And I will give Gamboa credit. I said I wasn't interested in the fight. I said how he hadn't had a knockout since 2014. And, with the steroid accusations and everything, he did look pretty good last night. I'm not sure if he's back on the juice or what, but that was explosive, even though clearly Martinez is completely washed up. Gamboa looked good. He looked like the old Gamboa. But again, you put Gamboa in there with the fighter that's below average, that's how he's going to look, because the guy is explosive for 3 or 4 rounds, but it's when Gamboa gets in there with the guy that can take his punch and be around for a few rounds that we start to see him fall apart. They talk about maybe him fighting Tank Davis. That's not a good fight for him. Tank would stop him in probably 5 or 6 rounds, maybe less. It was impressive performance, a good knockout, but I'm not gonna say much more about it. I mean, but Gamboa probably did get himself one more big fight. All right, so the main event. I was actually excited about this fight. I think I watched a lot of tape on Nunez. I thought Nunez was going to come in and give Tank a good scrap, and we had an uppercut. I on tape a big right hand. Against the southpaw, of course, the right hands are usually a big weapon. I knew Nunez had one. I'll give Tank. I did predict Tank would knock him out in 3 to 5 rounds, though. But I thought Nunez would maybe hit him, maybe hurt him once, land some big shots. And I'll give Tank credit, though. Tank is, his boxing IQ was improving. He knew what Nunez was. He was obviously watching some tape on Nunez as well. He came out very weary of the right hand, right? He knew Nunez had a big right hand. He wasn't going to get caught with anything stupid. Nunez did land a nice little uppercut body shot there in the first 30, 40 seconds of the fight. But Tank was able to stay away, jab, using a nice little jab there, staying away, keeping the distance. He was obviously more athletic than Nunez and faster. And obviously he's a bigger puncher too, but he was very careful. He wasn't going to walk anything stupid. And Nunez did. Nunez did bring it like I thought he would. I mean, he came in confident. He came in, I believe he felt he could win the fight. And, the second round there, he got, I don't know what he was doing, posturing to the crowd, but he got cracked. And then Tank, hit him with a couple more follow-up shots, and the ref jumped in and stopped it. And look, was it a quick stoppage? Yes. It was a bad stoppage, to be honest, but after the stuff happening in boxing recently, a death in that state just last week, you can't really blame the referee for stopping it quick. And as a fighter, you got to almost be on notice that the ref's going to probably have a quick trigger. So, look, it was a quick stoppage, but for Nunez, it's a good thing probably because he didn't get hurt. He didn't get devastatingly knocked out, even though he did get knocked out in 2 rounds. He showed enough that I think he'll get another chance eventually. After a few more fights, he'll have to build himself back up a little bit. But, honestly, if you put Nunez in there against Burchelt, against Tevin Farmer, I think he can make some noise with those guys. I think Tank is the best fighter in the division. I think if Nunez would have fought Tevin Farmer last night, Nunez, who knows, man? I think Nunez could have maybe won that fight. It's just really, Tank was just a bad matchup for him because he's a bigger puncher, he's faster, he's more athletic, and the only chance Nunez really had was that if Tank walked into something stupid, and Tank was ready. He did, he came out, he fought smart, he boxed the first round, he showed some skills, he wasn't going to get caught with anything stupid, and I thought maybe being in his hometown, he would be trying to put on a big performance for his home fans and maybe come out a little wild. He didn't. He was more controlled than I've ever seen him. And I'm becoming more of a Tank Davis fan as time goes on, especially now that he's really starting to add some ring generalship and starting to, like I said, just up his IQ, And the only thing about Tank Davis is just, can he stay in trouble outside the ring? Can he keep it together there? Because in the ring, I think he's the best fighter at 130 pounds. I think if he moves up to lightweight, I think he can beat anybody up there. Would I pick him over Lomachenko right now? Probably not, but people need to stop acting like Lomachenko is invincible. Lomachenko is fighting bums right now, one after the other, and people give him a free pass, right? Who has Lomachenko beat besides Rigondeaux, who was moving up like, what, 2-3 weight classes for that fight, clearly way too small for Lomachenko. So who has Lomachenko really beat? Linares? Linares knocked him down. Yeah, Lomachenko knocked him out in the 10th, but at the same time, Linares was washed up. I mean, look at Linares in his next fight. He got vaporized in a round. Okay, Lomachenko's not fighting killers out here right now. I mean, Luke Campbell, really? Crolla? How many more domestic British fighters is he going to fight? And look, the Mikey Garcia fight, it's lost a little bit of luster now that Garcia lost to Spence. Not all the luster, but it certainly would have been as big a fight if it was that they were both undefeated. And I don't see Lomachenko calling out Gervonta Davis. I don't see him trying to make that fight. And who's he going to fight at 140? He's not going to fight Terrence Crawford at 140. Crawford would beat him, in my opinion, easily. So I don't know. I'm not going to go on about Lomachenko right now. But anyway, impressive performance from Tank. I kind of hope he moves up to lightweight because, look, if they can't put the Burchelt fight together, I don't even really want to see Tank beat up Tevin Farmer. That's not a fun fight. Tevin can't keep him off. Tank would just go in with no worries, and he would just break him down and knock him out. Or win a wide decision. Because Tevin has a lot of heart, and he might be able to survive the 12 rounds, but I can't see Tevin winning no more than a couple of rounds because he can't hurt him. He can't keep him off. And even though Tevin's a good boxer, he's not that good of a boxer we can just put on a clinic for 12 rounds. Like, Tank isn't that raw. He's not that raw where he can just get his ears boxed off for 12 rounds by somebody like Tevin. So I don't even really want to see that fight. It's Burchelt or it's lightweight. You move up to lightweight, all kinds of big fights can be made at lightweight. And I know Tank's had trouble making the weight before. You could just tell by his body he'd be fine at lightweight. I think he definitely carried the power up. I think he might even be more powerful at lightweight. That might be his. I mean, he's only 24, I think, so he's young. I think he's about ready for lightweight. Unless maybe if they can put one unification fight together at 130, but if not, go ahead, go up to 135. Let's make some big fights. Like I said, becoming a fan. Every time I see him, I think his style's good for boxing. I just think, they just need to get him in there with some other really good fighters because you put him in there, it looks like he's the type of fighter that you put him in there with anybody not in top 3 in that division, he's just going to blow him out. That's just, he's that good, he's that powerful, and unless he's in there with another really good fighter, it's going to be over quick. And these fights really ain't giving him much work right now. I mean, who else is at 130? Let me look real quick. Yeah, nobody at 130 I want to see him fight right now. 135, though, you got... I mean, you could go up... Kami and Lopez are fighting right now, but I would love to see Tank Davis versus Lopez, maybe, if they can't put together that Lopez-Lomachenko fight, because they're trying to build Teofimo into this big star for Lomachenko. Tank would give Lomachenko a much better fight than Teofimo right now. Mikey Garcia, if he comes back down to 135... Even though I don't know, they got Mikey at 135 on here, but really Mikey's probably better at 140. He could probably still make 130. Anyway, that would be a good fight. The winner of Robert Easter Jr. and Bartholomew, yeah, I guess that would be a good fight. I think Tank would win that fight. I know Devin Haney was calling out Tank. I'd like to see that fight at 135. That would be a fun fight. A little grudge match right there. But yeah, the future is bright. Anyway, I'm gonna cut this analysis off short. It was a decent card, a couple of good knockouts, second round knockouts. All right, let me know like and agree or disagree in the comment section on what you think about Tank Davis. Who do you want to see him fight next?